You're gonna go against my husband taking his life. Let's talk about mental health and mental illness and things like that. But I thought it was odd. Why are you shooting at the big dog? But as they say, you shoot at the king and you miss. Well, they shot at the queen and they missed, and I lit them up.
They're doing it.
You feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I was doing sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Kevin Hart's roast event turned into what people are calling a full-blown humiliation ritual. And now, things are getting even crazier. Dave Chappelle is reportedly furious at Kevin for co-signing some of those white comedians on stage. And it's not even just about that George Floyd joke everyone's talking about. Sources close to Dave are saying the real reason he's upset goes back to what happened to Sheryl Underwood. So let me break this down clearly, because this situation is spiraling fast. Kevin Hart is catching serious backlash right now for letting some very questionable jokes slide during his Netflix roast. First, Tony Hinchcliffe targeted Sheryl Underwood and made a joke about her late husband, who tragically died by suicide in 1990 after battling depression.
Oh no, hold up, let me let me talk. Her husband committed suicide 3 years into their marriage. I've been sitting next to her for 2 hours and I have to ask, how did he last that long?
And then, hold up, Hinchcliffe also dropped a George Floyd joke. And apparently, listen to this, Kevin thought it was hilarious.
Done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe. God bless you.
As for Shane Gillis, hold up, he also made a lynching joke. And again, listen to this, Kevin loved it.
You're saying a lot of just terrible things tonight. But yeah, you guys like that? But not me. I'm not going to be doing that. I've got a nice PG short joke that I'd like you guys to be a part of, okay? Kevin is so short. Kevin's so short that they're going to have to lynch him from a bonsai tree.
Now listen to this. Sheryl Underwood has actually been pretty calm and composed about the whole situation. She told ET that she didn't feel offended, but hold up, she did say it was kind of strange that Tony Hinchcliffe went with that joke.
My husband taking his life. Let's talk about mental health and mental illness and things like that. But I thought it was odd. Why are you shooting at the big dog? But as they say, you shoot at the king and you miss. Well, they shot at the queen and they missed, and
But hold up, the real heat is all coming down on Kevin Hart. People are straight up calling him a sellout because he wasn't just the headliner, he was also a producer of the roast. And listen to this, the argument is that he allowed jokes about two of the most traumatic moments in Black American history to air right under his watch and on his own platform. And honestly, man, the worst part is that those jokes weren't even funny. If you're going to use dark humor, that's fine, but you still have to be funny. Just saying things for shock value is not comedy, period. Hold up, before the roast even happened, Michael Che pulled out of the event, and he later revealed that the writing room for the roast was mostly white guys. And again, this was Kevin's production from top to bottom. But then Kevin made it even worse when he went on The Breakfast Club and actually defended Tony Hinchcliffe.
It wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Tony told a joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to us. We didn't like it. Okay, hey man, that joke. We move on. I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes...
And then, hold up, Kevin also completely contradicted himself multiple times during this interview. One minute he's bragging that it's our production, acting like he runs the whole thing. Then seconds later, he's switching it up, acting like his hands were tied and he couldn't control any of the jokes.
It affected by the attempt of humor. I get it, right? In this case, like, do more. It's my production. That's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me to do? I'm gonna drag him off? You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into, like, what? That's not what I agreed to do. That's not the job.
By the way, hold up. Remember when Kevin got hit with backlash and people accused him of being homophobic after his old tweets resurfaced? This all went down in 2019, right after Kevin was announced as the host of the Oscars. And listen to this. What did Kevin do next? He immediately apologized and even stepped down from hosting the Oscars. But that still wasn't enough. He then went on basically every talk show you can think of, apologizing over and over again, and man, really putting himself out there, begging the LGBTQ community to forgive him.
I know who I am. I know I don't have a homophobic bone in my body. I know that I've addressed it. I know that I've apologized. I don't want to step on that stage and make that night about me.
So, those tweets were flat out unacceptable, but hold up, George Floyd execution jokes? Apparently in Kevin's world, that's just totally fine. He's basically saying we should just move on and stop blowing it up into something bigger than it is. And yeah, I know he didn't actually tell those jokes himself, but don't forget, it was still his roast. He literally produced the whole thing, so the responsibility doesn't just disappear. And now listen to this. Several black comedians are coming at Kevin, especially Dave Chappelle. Dave basically escaped to Africa to get away from his handler, and when he finally came back, he went on the Oprah show and revealed that his bosses at Comedy Central wanted him to do what he called socially irresponsible jokes, meaning his jokes. And Dave quickly realized something deeper. Even though those jokes were funny, the white audience wasn't really laughing with him, they were laughing at him.
Sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible. Like there's this one sketch we did that was about this pixie that would appear whenever things happen. Whenever someone make you feel like they calling you that N-word, but don't say it. But the pixie was in blackface because this was gonna be the visual personification of the N-word. But what I didn't consider is the way people use television is subjective. So then when I'm on the set and we're finally taping the sketch, somebody on the set that was white laughed in such a way, and was the first time I'd ever gotten a laugh that I was.
So, here's where the comparison really hits differently. Dave Chappelle, hold up, got offered a massive bag of money just to perform stereotypes for a white audience laughing at him, and he said no. Kevin Hart, on the other hand, produced an entire show where that same dynamic played out, and he went along with it anyway. Now listen, there's a whole lot that could be said about Dave Chappelle in the present day too. Some people even argue he's not much different from Kevin Hart anymore, especially after that whole Riyadh Comedy Festival situation. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like the same guy who once turned down $50 million and sat across from Oprah at breaking down how the industry really works. But that's a conversation for another video. Right now, I want to bring it back to Kevin, because it's not just Dave who allegedly tried to warn us. A lot of people are also pointing back to what Cat Williams said on Club Shay Shay. And listen to this. Cat straight up called Kevin an industry plant and claimed he was handpicked by higher-ups because he's always been willing to do whatever they ask him.
But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you?
Listen to this. Here's what Cat was really getting at. And no, this wasn't just some random beef or comedian jealousy. His whole argument was that Kevin reached the top for a very specific reason, not just because he's funny or worked hard, but because his mindset matches exactly what industry gatekeepers look for. They typically don't elevate people who make them uncomfortable. Think about that for a second. Jokes involving historical black trauma are treated like they're fair game. But would Kevin go along with it if that same energy were aimed at the historical trauma of another group? You know exactly what I'm saying here. If we're going to be edgy, then nothing should be off limits, right? But clearly, in Hollywood, some lines are still very much drawn, and Kevin is fully aware of that. That's part of why people say he gets elevated in those spaces. They tend to pick people who take the check, smile for the cameras, stay in line, and never bite the hand feeding them. And Kevin, whether intentional or not, fits that pattern in their eyes. When the Oscars situation happened, he apologized within 24 hours and then hit nearly every talk show explaining how much he respects the LGBTQ community. And just like that, Kevin was forgiven. He did what was expected and, in their view, proved his compliance. Now, compare that to someone like Dave Chappelle walking away from a $50 million deal. That's a completely different kind of energy. That signals to the higher-ups that you can't easily be controlled. And what was the response? They called him unpredictable and tried to damage his reputation. And yeah, Dave has definitely evolved a lot since those days, but this still feeds into Cat Williams' broader point. The system isn't broken, it's operating exactly the way it was built to operate. So this roast situation wasn't just a random slip-up. It wasn't Kevin being caught off guard. Kevin understands the game and knows exactly who signs the checks. But I want to bring it back to Sheryl Underwood, because this is the part that really matters. Sheryl walked into that roast knowing she might get dragged through the mud. And listen, she completely flipped the script at that moment. After those comedians made harsh jokes about her late husband, she stood up and delivered the only performance of the night that earned a full standing ovation.
You think you hurt my feelings by talking about my dead husband? My husband only died once. You die every night with them whack-ass jokes you be telling. Shane, you may talk about me, but I know your kind. You want to hit this black harder than you hit the windows of the Capitol on January.
It really came for Sheryl, thinking she was an easy target. But hold up, she shut that whole narrative down and reminded everybody exactly why she's been holding it down in this game for decades. But now, I want to hear your takes on all this. Mainly, how you feel about Kevin Hart defending all those jokes. Thanks for watching and subscribe to my channel.